I'm going to go over a warrior tanking guide that's aimed for warriors that are just hitting 50 and doing adventures and dungeons. This guide is used to give you threat, it's used to give you defense, and it's used to give you utility. So let's get started. We're going to go over rune choices real quick. You can watch one of my other videos that kind of talks about these choices, but for just this video's sake, we're going to go pretty quick. Armor is your first choice, then tech for increased threat and strike through, and then grit just to cover any gaps that are in your milestones. Abilities are what we're going to go into next. You want to use tier 8 menacing strike. This gives you a heal, this gives you increased deflect, it's going to make you tankier overall. Jolt, you want to tier 4 it. This is going to reduce the resistances of mobs that you're going to be fighting. This increases the amount of damage and threat you do, and the amount of damage that your group's going to do. Things are going to die faster, you'll get through the dungeon quicker. Atomic Surge is an Intimidate. It's going to put you at the top of the threat. You're going to have a lot of people that are either going to be pulling things with their bodies, or they're going to be doing a lot more damage than you, and using this to get on top is going to make your group take less damage because they're going to be focused on you. Bum Rush is an ability that you can use to get from A to B. It allows anyone who, like I said before, they body pull stuff, you can get there faster, you can do damage to them. I like to use Bum Rush over Leap because it gives you reduced damage taken. You might get there before your healer. Great ability to use to kind of cover those gaps. Shield Burst is a really good threat ability. It covers 360 degrees around you, whereas most abilities are cleaved in front. Really strong. The tier 4 allows you to do more damage, which in turn is more threat. Tier 4 Kick is going to reduce their interrupt armor by 2. It works really well with Grapple. They both will knock down or stop a cast, whereas Flashbang will not. If you have a ranged mob, you can use Kick first, and then you can dodge back a couple times, use Grapple, pull the mob to you, might get away from pads. It might make it easier for your DPS to not pull things as they pad by. Last and not least, I've got Unstoppable Force on here. This removes any CC, and the CCs include knockdowns, they include tethers, they include disarms, and any kind of snare. This is really nice to get you back into a fight or avoid abilities if you see them coming. You can use this to just not be affected by them whatsoever. You can change those abilities out, but those are what I like to use just for general dungeons. To go through the amps real quick, we've got Fortify here. Fortify increases your armor, works really well with all the runes that we saw before. Reserve Power increases changes any of the healing that you get, 20% of it into shields, which is really good because medics are usually what give you shields for healing. But this makes it a little bit easier for Espers and Spellsingers to heal you as well, while maintaining the bonuses affected by Fortify. Full Force increases threat generated every now and then, makes it easier for whenever you have those high DPS situations with people who outgear you. Kinetic Buffer and Full Defense both require you to be above 500 kinetic energy, reduces damage taken by 9%, and increases your deflect chance and deflect critical hit chance by 5% as well. Makes you a lot tankier. Vigor makes it easier for healers that aren't as geared to kind of cover those healing gaps, increases a base healing by 10%, and then say you get hit by 5 mobs all at once, increases it by an additional 10%. 20% healing is never a bad thing. Kinetic Drive allows you to keep your kinetic energy up whenever you are sprinting. This is really good in fights if you have to get from A to B. It allows you to make sure you don't fall below 500 kinetic energy, makes you stay tankier longer. And last but not least, Unyielding. This ability allows you to not be dazed whenever you're running around during a fight. This gives you more mobility in a fight, which in Wildstar is incredibly important. That's it for right now. You can go through my other video, which kind of goes through some of these choices a little bit more in depth. Hopefully this helped you out. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below, or you can contact me in game. My name is Lalta Surreal. I'm on the Entity North American server on Exile. Hopefully this helps you guys out and get to run in dungeons. Take care.